First Chronicles Chapter 13. Transfer the Ark. After David had taken counsel with his commanders of thousands and of hundreds, that is, with every leader, he said to the whole assembly of Israel, "If it seems good to you, and is so decreed by the Lord our God, let us send to the rest of our kindred from all of the districts of Israel, and also the priests and the Levites from their cities with pasture lands, that they may join us. And let us bring the ark of God here among us. For in the days of Saul we did not consult it, and the whole assembly agreed to it. For it seemed right in the eyes of all the people. Then David assembled all of Israel from Sihor of Egypt to Lebo Hamath to bring the ark of God from Kiriath Jearim. David and all of Israel went up to Baalah, that is, to Kiriath Jearim of Judah, to bring up from there the ark of the Lord, which was known by the name Lord, enthroned upon the cherubim. They transported the ark of God. They transported the ark of God on a new cart from the house of Abinadab. Uzzah and Ahio were guiding the cart, while David and all of Israel danced before God with all their might, with singing and with lyres and harps and tambourines, cymbals and trumpets. As they reached the threshing floor of Shidon, Uzzah stretched out his hand to steady the ark, for the oxen were tipping it. Then the Lord became angry with Uzzah and struck him because he had laid his hand on the ark. He died there in God's presence. David was angry because the Lord's anger had broken out against Uzzah. Therefore, that place has been called Perez Uzzah even to this day. David was afraid of God that day, and he said, "How can I bring in the ark of God to me?" Therefore, he did not take the ark with him into the city of David, but deposited it instead at the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite. The ark of God remained in the house of Obed-Edom with his family for 3 months, and the Lord blessed Obed-Edom's household and all that he possessed. Chapter 14. David in Jerusalem. Hiram, king of Tyre, sent envoys to David along with cedar wood and masons and carpenters to build him a house. David now knew that the Lord had truly established him as king over Israel, for his kingdom was greatly exalted for the sake of his people Israel. David took other wives in Jerusalem and became the father of more sons and daughters. These are the names of those who were born to him in Jerusalem: Shammua, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibhar, Elishua, Eliphalet, Noga, Nepheg, Japhiah, Elishama, Beliada, and Eliphalet. The Philistine wars. When the Philistines had heard that David was anointed king over all of Israel, they marched out in force looking for him. But when David heard of this, he went out against them. Meanwhile, the Philistines had come and raided the valley of Rephaim. David inquired of God, "Shall I attack the Philistines, and will he deliver them into my power?" The Lord answered him, "Attack, for I have delivered them into your power." So they attacked at Baal Perazim, and David defeated them there. Then David said, "By my hand, God has broken through my enemies, just as water breaks through a dam." Therefore that place was called Baal Perazim. The Philistines abandoned their gods there, and David ordered them to be burnt. Once again the Philistines raided the valley, and again David inquired of God, but God answered him, "Do not try to pursue them, but go around them and come against them near the balsam trees. When you hear the sound of marching in the tops of the balsam trees, then go forth to battle, for God has already gone before you to strike the army of the Philistines." David did as God commanded him, and they routed the Philistine army from Gibeon to Gezer. Thus David's fame was spread abroad through every land, and the Lord put the fear of him on all the nations. First Chronicles Chapter 15. Preparations for moving the ark. David built houses for himself in the city of David and prepared a place for the ark of God, pitching a tent for it there. At that time he said, "No one may carry the ark of God except the Levites, for the Lord chose them to carry the ark of the God and to minister to him forever." Then David assembled all Israel to Jerusalem to bring up the ark of the Lord to its place, which he had prepared for it. David also convened the sons of Aaron and the Levites of the sons of Kohath, Uriel their chief, and 120 of his brothers of the sons of Merari, Asaiah their chief, and 220 of his brothers, the sons of Gershon, Joel their chief, and 130 of his brothers. Of the sons of Eliasaphan, Shemaiah their chief, and 200 of his brothers. Of the sons of Hebron, Eliel their chief, and 80 of his brothers. Of the sons of Uzziel, Aminadab their chief, and 112 of his brothers. David summoned the priests Zadok and Abiathar, and the Levites Uriel, Asaiah, Joel, Shemaiah, Eliel, and Aminadab, and said to them, You heads of the Levitical houses, sanctify yourselves along with your brothers, to bring up the ark of the Lord, the God of Israel, to the place which I have prepared for it. Because you are not with us the first time, the Lord our God broke out against us, for we did not seek him aright. Excuse me. Accordingly, the priests and the Levites sanctified themselves to bring up the ark of the Lord, the God of Israel. The Levites carried the ark of God on their shoulders with poles as Moses had commanded. According to the word of the Lord, David commanded the commanders of the Levites to appoint their brothers as singers and to play on musical instruments, harps, lyres, and cymbals, to make a loud sound of rejoicing. Therefore the Levites appointed Haman, son of Joel, and among his brothers Asaph, son of Berechiah, and among the sons of Merari, their brothers Ethan, son of Cushiah, and together with these, their brothers of the second rank, the gatekeepers Zechariah, Uzziel, Shemiramoth, Jehiel, Uni, Eliab, Benaniah, Messiah, Mattathiah, Eliphelehu, Micaniah, Obed-Edom, and Jael. The singers, Haman, Asaph, and Ethan, sounded brass cymbals. Zechariah, Uzziel, Shemiramoth, Jehiel, Uni, Eliab, Maaseiah, and Benaiah played on harps set to Alamoth. But Mattathiah, Eliphelehu, Micaniah, Obed-Edom, and Jael led the song on lyres set to Sheminith. Shenaniah was the chief of the Levites in the singing. He directed the singing, for he was skillful. Berechiah and Elkanah were gatekeepers before the ark. The priests Shebaniah, Jehoshaphat, Nathaniel, Amasai, Zechariah, Benaniah, and Eleazar sounded the trumpets before the ark of God. Obed-Edom and Jael were also gatekeepers before the ark. The ark comes to Jerusalem. Thus David, the elders of Israel, and the commanders of thousands went to bring up the ark of the covenant of the Lord with joy from the house of Obed-Edom. While God helped the Levites to carry the ark of the covenant of the Lord, they sacrificed 7 bulls and 7 rams. David was vested in a robe of fine linen, as were all the Levites who carried the ark, the singers, and Shenaniah, the leader of song. David was also wearing a linen ephod. Thus all Israel brought up the ark of the covenant of the Lord with joyful shouting, to the sound of horns, trumpets, and cymbals, and the music of harps and lyres. But as the ark of the covenant of the Lord was entering the city of David, Michal, daughter of Saul, looked down from her window, and when she saw King David leaping and dancing, she despised him in her heart. God bless you.